Ganga baje Paramarashala Shankha baje Ghancha baje Baje Kartala Shankha baje Ghancha baje Baje Kartala Madhura Miranga baje Paramarashala Madhura Baho Kati Chandra Jine Badana Ujala Shiva Kati Bala Deshe Vana Mala Hare Jala Mala Bala Deshe Vana Mala Hare Jala Mala Shiva Shukanarada Preme Gada Gada Shiva Shukanarada Preme Gada Gada Bhakti Vinada Dekhe Ghorar Sampada Bhakti Vinada Dekhe Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন পথগামী ভাবত মে জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন পথগামী ভাবত মে জগন্নাথ জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন পথগামী ভাবত মে জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন পথগামী ভাবত মে জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন পথগামী ভাবত মে জগন্নাথ জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন পথগামী ভাবত মে জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন পথগামী ভাবত মে জগন্নাথ জগন্নাথ স্বামী নয়ন পথগামী ভাবত মে জগন্নাথ Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Radhe Jaya Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Radhe Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Lakshmi Nisingha Jaya Lakshmi Nisingha Lakshmi Nisingha Jaya Lakshmi Nisingha Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Panchatata 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 Jaya Panchatata Jaya Panchatata 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 Jaya Panchatata Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva 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 Jaya Gurudeva Nitai Gaur Haribal 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 Nitai Gaur Haribal Nitai Gaur Haribal 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 Nitai Gaur Haribal
Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvajikacharya Stadasata Shri Shriman His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mathura Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Yeah. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladayane Hiranyakashipu Vakshaya Shilatankanakalaya Ito Nashinga Parato Nashinga Ito Nashinga Ridae Nashinga Yato Yato Yamita To Nashinga Yato Yato Yamita To Nashinga Bahir Nashinga Ridahe Nashinga Bahir Nashinga Ridahe Nashinga Narasimham Adim Sharanam Prapadye Narasimham Adim Sharanam Prapadye Tavakara Kamala Vare Naka Adbhuta Shinga Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Tavakara Kamala Vare Nakama Bhuta Shinga Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Jaya Narsinga Dev. Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj. Jai Nrsimha Bhagavan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari. Who is in charge? I can ask. It's just got to settle down. Nobody's paying a lot of attention.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, I would like to give some introduction.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. So let us welcome, we are so fortunate today, and His Holiness Kavichandra Maharaj is here with us. And let us welcome first of all saying 3 times Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And as per the, I'll give some intro. Kavichandra Swami Maharaj met the Hare Krishna devotees in 1967 and was initiated by Srila Prabhupada in 1971. He joined the temple in Iskcon, Arizona, and since that time he has served the various capacities in the United States and around the world. Some of these services include from 1973 until 1977. Itinerant selling of Srila Prabhupada's books to libraries, universities, and individuals, including leading book distribution team called the Radha Damodara Sankirtan Party, preaching Krishna consciousness in Fiji, filling in as the general manager for the Radha Rasbihari temple in Juhu, India, and as temple president in Tokyo, Japan. So that's so many of, and Maharaj is very, very, very much engaged in the serving the, devotees around the world. So let us again, one more time, saying Hari Bol 3 times to welcome you, Maharaj. Loudly, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Do you have a particular place in Gita? Or anywhere?
We are actually today Gopashtami celebrating.
Oh, yeah. You've celebrated or? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Balava Giri Varadhari. Gopijana Balava Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Banachai Yamunatira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Balava Girivardhari Gopijana Balava Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Shri Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai Gaur Premanani Hari Om Agana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sajajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Tvishe Namaha. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate. Tapta Kanchana Gaurange, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. So thank you for being here and letting me come. Very nicely decorated here with the Das avatars, and a beautiful altar, and beautiful shringar. So we hope that hundreds of years from now it'll still be going, right? You have to invest in the future. Like Prabhupada said, in Vrindavan there's so many temples, some very, very poor, but they've never stopped there. Puja never stopped, no matter what. So I was told that today is for Gopashtami. Actually, it's tomorrow according to the calendar, but I'm sure we won't have a big crowd tomorrow. Everybody knows what that day is, right? Gopashtami. Krishna, at some very early age, and it's confusing how they count the years. Like, sometimes Prabhupada said Krishna was 15 years old when he went to Mathura. Somebody said that the first 5 years, they started counting after 5 years, so Krishna was 10 years old, that was 15. It's very confusing. But anyway, the boys, they were taking care of calves. And then at a certain age, they figured they were grown up enough, and they started to take care of the cows also. Of course, for Krishna to take care of cows is very easy, because the cows just follow Krishna around. You don't have to do anything. There's one story where Mother Yasoda, she wanted to go with to protect Krishna when they went in the forest, because they would, at that time, when they went out, then it was all forest. And there was a lot of grass growing. And of course, boys don't want their mother to go with them when they go out. So Balaram convinced her. But he said, we don't have to work. He said, we only play, because the cows just follow Krishna. So nobody has to do anything. It's not like now where somebody has to hit the cows with sticks. Anyways, cows are like that. They just follow once they know where to go, Like you see the bullock cart, the driver sleeping. The bull knows the way. It's not like driving cars. It's much. We can see in Vrindavan the bullock cart drivers are smiling and laughing, and the BMW drivers are angry and honking the horn and want to move faster. And we have those bullock school buses there in Vrindavan, and you see them when they're coming out from school, and the traffic, gets jammed up behind them, and there's so many horns blowing, and because they don't go so fast. But it's very nice, and it's very pleasing to them. So taking care of cows is the business of Vaishyas, Chishi Go Raksha Vanijam. And when it's business, it means agriculture, but everything based on cows. So Krishna showed us that by example. He was a cowherd boy. So, of course, we know so many leelas of taking care of cows. Lord Brahma stole all the calves and boys. So many things. But to meditate on that, to think about, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, it's bewildering. Even Brahma couldn't be sure that this was the Supreme Lord, his Lord. Just a little boy eating lunch with his friends, and they would say, "Oh, look what my mother made," and they would feed another boy, and Krishna was eating from the other boys' lunches, and he couldn't understand that this could be his Supreme Lord, and Indra also. So they both, Brahma was thinking to test, that's why he stole the boys and calves. And Indra got really mad, actually. He's a little bit lower mode of nature, but Krishna had protected cows and calves. He loved the calves. He loved cows. So we're meant to love them also and teach people the value of the cows. There's also, tomorrow is the disappearance day of Gadadhar Das Goswami and Dhananjaya Pandit and Srinivas Acharya, the very important personalities in Lord Chaitanya's Leela. How many have read the Chaitanya Charitamrita or any of it? How many have the Chaitanya Charitamrita set in their house? Oh, quite a few. So if you have it, please read it. We tell people, even if you don't read, the book has power, so it's beneficial anyway, because it's Krishna, it's the incarnation of Krishna, but reading it makes it much more effective. And anybody would like to have, you can order. If we don't have a stock here, we'll send them to you from New York. They're not very expensive. The Chaitanya Charitamrita set. Srila Prabhupada stopped working on the Bhagavatam for about 14 months and just did the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then he made a super, effort to get it published, which was a miracle. But these characters, Gadadhar, everybody knows, I guess, right? I can't see now. When I was standing up, I could see, but Gadadhar is on the right side, next to Lord Chaitanya. A very special personality. He's Radharani in Lord Chaitanya's Leela, because Radharani had to sneak around to be with Krishna, and a lot of trouble they went to meet every night. And the mother-in-law was always trying to stop her. Gadadhar, so she thought, if I'm a man, then I can be with Krishna all the time. So Gadadhar is Radharani, the energy, but he became a very close associate of Lord Chaitanya. They grew up together, and when Lord Chaitanya revealed himself as a devotee when he came back from Gaya, and he was like a madman, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? And he was looking everywhere, and Sachimata was very worried about him. Other devotees became very happy to see that finally Nimai became a devotee. So he was, where is Krishna? And he was running, and Gadadhar told him, he's in your heart, it's okay, just relax. So he started to, I'm going to get him out. He was ripping his chest. And somehow Gadadhar calmed him down. So Sachimata ordered Gadadhar, you have to stay with my son all the time. So that, the previous, Radharani was always told to stay away from Krishna. But Gadadhar was ordered to be with him. So when Lord Chaitanya went to Puri, Gadadhar went with, and Lord Chaitanya found the deity of Gopinath, which he gave to Gadadhar, Tota Gopinath, a wonderful deity there in Jagannath Puri. And Gadadhar made a vow, Chaitra sannyas. He also took sannyas when Lord Chaitanya, but Chaitra sannyas means he stays in one place. Different. It's considered even very high vow for a sannyasi. And he cared for Gopinath his whole life. Couldn't tell many. And he was an expert on Srimad Bhagavatam. scholar and preacher of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Lord Chaitanya and Gadadhar would daily for 3 hours read Srimad Bhagavatam, showing us the value of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. How many have the Bhagavatam set in their house? More, right? How many have taken off the shrink wrap? Yeah. Many times we see they haven't been opened. So they're meant for reading. But having it is good. Eventually, if you have it, probably read it. Or somebody will read it. There's stories of devotees whose mother or father had a book and never read it. They had the book before the devotee was born. And when they got in high school or something, they saw those books and read them and became devotees. So Krishna has planned for all the books. But I would really be happy if somebody would order the Chaitanya Charitamrita set. It's very, very auspicious and very important. There's the most interesting story of Gadadhar was one time when Lord Chaitanya was leaving Puri for a tour, Gadadhar said, "I'm going to go with you." And he said, "You can't come because you have this vow to serve the deity, and if you leave to go with me, then I'll get the offense. I'll be responsible that the deity's worship is not being carried on." So Gadadhar, is like Radharani. He said, "Okay, I'll just go anywhere, even though you say no, and that way it'll be it's my offense, not yours." So Lord Chaitanya didn't agree, but Gadadhar followed him for some distance, and he had to cross the river. And Mahaprabhu got on the boat and went and left Gadadhar. And of course, he must have told the boatman, "Don't go back," So Gadadhar just fell unconscious. There's a nice picture in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Dinabandhu Prabhu told us he posed for that picture. He had to keep fainting and falling down until the artists were satisfied that he had the right look. Fainted 10 times or something. So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya revived him and preached to him and said, "You're very fortunate. The Lord has preserved your vow, and you should be very, very happy." So he went back to take care of the deity. If you've been to Tota Gopinath, who's seen that deity? How many? He's very big, but he's sitting down. And even sitting down, he's quite tall. Maybe as tall as us. And the story is that Gadadhar, after Lord Chaitanya left, all the associates there in Puri, they were just crying all the time, and they didn't eat, they didn't sleep, they're just crying in separation. And they grew old very fast. Lord Chaitanya was 48 years old when he left. So Gadadhar got very old very quick. They all were leaving one after another. And he couldn't reach up anymore to put the garland or the crown or something. And so Krishna sat down. So that's very unique. He's sitting, very big murti. Many other stories of how, he taught his Bhagavatam. Srinivasacharya went to study Bhagavatam with him. It's also Srinivasacharya's disappearance date. These great souls, sometimes we see they disappear on the same day because they're feeling so much in separation from the previous one that they leave their body. Like we had the Teen Goswami Samadhi, that was back in the beginning of Kartik. Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta, and Krishnadas Kaviraj all left on the same day, but different years, because just so much intense separation from the previous, they left their body. inconceivable attachment and love. So his Bhagavatam, he only had the one copy, but Srinivas couldn't read it because when Gadadhar he had it memorized, and he would cry so much that the pages were all smeared up and couldn't see properly. And the tears, another thing that's inconceivable. Srinivas, which is also his disappearance day, he was next generation, disciples of Shiksha, disciples of Jiva Goswami, with Narottam Das, who was just like they were like twin brothers practically, although they're from different families, and Shamananda. He would cry so much that his clothes would be soaking wet. All his clothes were soaking wet from tears. People couldn't believe how one body could produce so much water. We get it sometimes. Usually modern people cry when they're angry and frustrated and sad. There's also tears of ecstasy. Srinivas was his whole life a devotee. His father had witnessed Lord Chaitanya's sannyas, and after that he just only talked about Lord Chaitanya. People called him Chaitanya Das. And he was very old, but I had a dream or something that you'll have a son and should name him Srinivas. And he had an amazing son that everybody thought was a demigod or something. But they only talked about Lord Chaitanya, the father, all the time. So Srinivas excelled in every study and finished everything very quickly. But all he wanted to do was go and be with Lord Chaitanya. But he never made it. Tried. He tried to go to where Lord Chaitanya was, but Lord Chaitanya was already gone. And he tried to meet Lord Nityananda, and he was already gone. He did go and study with Gadadhar. Then he tried to go to Navadvip to meet, I think, Nityananda, but he had disappeared. He went back, and on the way he found out that Gadadhar had left. So he was always feeling this intense separation. Then he went to be with Rupa and Sanatan, and before he got to Vrindavan, he found out they'd left. And he was going to suicide. He couldn't stand it, but then they appeared to him and said, no, you go and take shelter of Jiva Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So he's famous for originally transporting the books of the Goswamis to Bengal and Orissa. They were stolen on the way. He found them. One king had an army of dacoits and stole things, and they heard there was a great treasure. But when he saw that it was the books, he felt bad. Then Srinivas came, and he was listening to the Raj Pandit speak, and he challenged him and said, you're all wrong, this is all wrong, your interpretation. So he was not happy. He said, so you speak. So Srinivas spoke and completely charmed everybody and became the Raj Pandit and stayed in that kingdom for some time. And he's most famous for writing the 6 Goswamis' prayer, Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shijiva Gopalago. So we honor these people and we want to think about them. Because when we hear about the great personalities, hopefully we'll think, I would like to be like that, and we can see the examples of such intense love for Krishna in devotional service, such intense surrender to the spiritual master and the scriptures and all these things. So very, very important. Dhananjaya Pandit, I don't know so much details about. He's just mentioned a little bit in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's not a lot of details about him. So normally we study Bhagavad Gita every night, but this all, these are like personified Bhagavad Gita people. So since it's tomorrow and we don't have a chance to meet on Monday, everyone has to work or go to school or whatever. Remember Krishna herding the cows, how much Krishna loves cows. And now it's Kartik month, Damodar month, so, we have the whole episode with Madhya Soda and the yogurt and the milk and Krishna stealing butter and all those things. It's due to his love for cows. Krishna loves the milk products. When in the early days, everybody heard, how Krishna's a butter thief and everything. And in America, I don't know still, but butter was very cheap and lots of butter. So devotees used lots of butter. Prabhupada said, look out for these Americans, they use too much ghee. But now ghee is becoming very costly. But butter is still available, and Krishna loves the butter, so Krishna, he stole it, he broke the pot, he ate the butter, he ate the yogurt, he gave it to the monkeys. He would go, very busily. It's one of his most famous pastimes, is stealing the butter thief. That's why Yasoda was churning herself with milk from special cows, because she thought maybe the other ladies have better yogurt, and so I will make first class. So she had the special cows, and she would collect special herbs in the mountains to feed those cows and take their milk and make the yogurt, and she was cooking the milk also, and that's why she had to put Krishna down, because it was boiling over, and it was a special milk to make special milk sweets, because Krishna loved the milk sweets. He also eat so much, so it's very important to think about that. Of course, nowadays it's not easy to keep cows in the city, even out of the city. We need to subsidize feeding them, and we don't have enough land. Land is all being devoured up by different things. But so every one of you read Bhagavad Gita every day? Does anybody read every day? Huh? Raise your hand. At least one sloka. Good. But we should every day. One way to do it is get one of those calendars with one verse every day. So in 2 years you can read the whole Gita. But I saw a new version had 2 verses on every day. So that way you can read the whole Gita every year, just by one sloka a day, at least a sloka. But we should read more. We should be... there's that club, the Chad Club, Vaisheshika Prabhu made, where everybody reads one, they take like a join and they'll read one chapter every day. And that, if we only read the slokas, even if we read the Sanskrit, like I've done it many times, and we chant the Sanskrit, responsibly, so twice, and then read the English, it still takes for most chapters like 20 minutes. It's not a big deal. If you only read the English or the Sanskrit or the Hindi or the Tamil or the Gujarati or whatever you read, 10 minutes for most chapters, except chapter 18 and chapter 2. Those are very long, so maybe 15 minutes. So it's very good to set aside time, but at least a little bit, and talk about it, because it's Krishna. We want to be with Krishna, we want to learn about Krishna, we want to love Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, Krishna speaks, and Bhuya eva Mahabaho Shinume Padamam Vacha Yat Te Ham Priyamanaya Vaksyami Hitta Kamyaya. Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. And he's already explained a lot, because chapter 7 and chapter 9 especially, so much about Krishna. Prabhupada said one time chapter 9 is the best chapter. He also said that if you read chapter 9, you'll be free from envy. Maybe nobody here is envious, but in the material world, usually we're envious. So because you're my friend, another place he says, because you're my friend and my devotee, I will speak to you. For your benefit, Krishna is speaking for everyone's benefit. We were just reading that in chapter 2. He spoke on the battlefield as for everybody, no discrimination. Bhagavad Gita is not just an Indian book or a Hindu book, it's for everybody. Because knowledge of Krishna. All scripture is for everybody. It's not discriminatory that it's only for this type of people or that kind of people. But Bhagavad Gita, especially because it's connected with India, many people think like that. Or at least I've met Hindus who think, if you don't know Hindi, one man he wanted to talk to, when I was in Japan, our GBC and guru at the time, he kept saying, I have to talk to you. I have to tell you something. And when he told him, you have to learn Hindi. If you want to read about Krishna, you have to learn Hindi. That's where all the books are in Hindi. Which I tell him that Prabhupada, translated in English. Of course, in Hindi also, whatever language you want. Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita is now in about 100 languages. But Mickey Mouse is in about 5,000 or 6,000 languages. More than the Bible is the most translated. But the Bible is in thousands of languages, and they're always looking for more languages to put it in, even though some of these languages are very few people speaking them. But they're there, so they want to reach out. So we want to reach out to everybody. So this is Krishna speaking, Bhagavan. Then he says, Name vidu suragana prabhavana maharshaya aham adir hi bhutan devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Neither the host of the demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and the sages. That's, of course, a major theme of Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna is saying everything comes from me, aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate. Everything comes from me, and I am the source of everything. He repeats it in different ways. So many times. I couldn't rattle off all the times he says it, but anyone who reads Bhagavad Gita will find it. And here it is again. They can't understand me because I'm the source. But many people will say, I know all about Krishna. And Lord Brahma, when he spoke to Krishna, that was after, his stealing everything. He said, some may say they know about you, but as for myself, I don't know anything. And he said, even Krishna, you can't even know yourself fully, because even if you catch up, you're expanding and becoming greater all the time, so you can't keep up. By the time you know something, you've already become greater, So that nobody can really know everything about Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita is not for knowing everything or for understanding, like you understand your computer manual or your work manual or whatever, your parenting manuals. It's for loving Krishna. The whole purpose of chanting and serving the deities, and especially preaching, is to develop love for Krishna, not to just know something about Krishna. Sometimes we devotees become proud because we know a lot about Krishna. And we say some other religion, they don't know so much about God, but they have a lot of faith. And they'll go out and tell everybody, you have to join this religion, you have to read the Bible or something. So then he describes, Yo mamajamanadim cha veti loka maheshwaram asamuda samarcheshu sarva papai pramuchate. This verse, for me, when we first got the Bhagavad Gita, it wasn't available when I joined. There was that one first printing that was done in 1968, which was all sold out by 1971. Few devotees the temple had one copy when I joined, like 5 or 6 brahmacharis. They had one Bhagavad Gita. It wasn't available anywhere. So in 1972, the big Gita came out with all the verses. So it was really ecstatic, and we were going out and selling it. And I would open it up to show people, and almost every time this verse came. And I would read it to them. He who knows me is the unborn, the beginningless, the supreme Lord of all the worlds. He only, undiluted among men, is freed from all sins. Know Krishna. Understand that. Everything comes from Krishna except that. Whatever it is. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Everybody knows that one, right? Can you say it? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Very good. That's very easy to learn, that one, somehow or other. Right? One of the easiest verses. Everybody knows Ishvara and Parama and Krishna. And everything is in that verse. Everything comes from Krishna. He's the supreme controller. He's eternal, blissful, and knowledgeable. He has a form. Everything is there. So that's just chapter 10 is, then Arjuna finally asks, how should I think of you? And then Krishna is explaining among whatever is very great, that represents Krishna. It's very nice to go over that. That's what the Chad group this month, they're chanting that chapter every day, chapter 10. Among oceans, on the bodies of water, I'm the ocean. Among the demigods, I'm Indra. Among fishes, the shark. Among, on and on and on, like among wielders of weapons, he's Rama, everything, so that we can learn to think of Krishna whenever we see something wonderful. People like to admire something big and great, something wonderful. Then at the end, though, he says, there's no use really for all this detailed knowledge, because with the spark of my splendor, I pervade everything. It's just that, all the most wonderful, glorious things that we know about. And there's so many people are traveling all the world to see mountains and see forest and, spectacular gardens and all the different varieties, or beautiful people, especially nowadays. But Krishna says, there's no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Like, it's so many amazing, waterfalls and different things in the world, and mountains. They're so stunningly beautiful. But we can't imagine what it's like heavenly planets are like. Or the beautiful people. Prabhupada said the beautiful women of this world, compared to the heavenly women, they're like frogs. If you saw the woman of the heavenly planet, any man on earth would just faint, unconscious. But the things are wonderful because it's, Krishna's something is showing through. So know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring but from a spark of my splendor. Purport. Any glorious or beautiful existence should be understood to be a fragmental manifestation of Krishna's opulence, whether it be in spiritual or material world. Anything extraordinarily opulent should be considered to represent Krishna's opulence. That's something we need to work on. So what need is there detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. That's how he ends that chapter. So hopefully we can, we hear enough about Krishna, and that's our mission in this movement. We make temples, so that we can give people a chance to come and hear about Krishna, so we can come and hear about Krishna. That's sadhu sangha, is to Krishna katha, chanting the holy name, and discussing Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. I noted this Panchatattva. It's a very beautiful painting up there of the Panchatattva, very personal, It's they're all dancing, obviously, in ecstasy, right? And can you see anybody that's sitting further back, right? If you get close to the altar, it's very nice to see that up there. So that's Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, and Prabhupada told us, to chant that before chanting Hare Krishna. And at the beginning of every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita is offering obeisance to those personalities. And they were the Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. There's all Krishna, but not Krishna. Nityananda is Balaram, so he's non-different, but he takes the role of a servant. Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu, or Sadashiva, who's actually the same in the spiritual world. And he called for Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, to come. And Gadadhar, I said, is Radharani. Narada Muni. Who knows who Srivas is? I said it anyway, I slipped. But who is Srivas? Narada Muni. And Narada Muni he was very, very famous in the early days of Iskcon. They called him the Transcendental Spaceman, because that was the astronaut time. And, the news was just full of astronauts and going to space. And then we saw that Narada Muni can just go wherever he wants without a spaceship. So there was a poem written, The Transcendental Spaceman. So the Panchatattva, the internal potencies of the Lord, and they preached, and they just described, I was looking for the verses here. Krishna had a storehouse of love of Godhead, but it was very hard to break open, to get in. You had to surrender to Krishna. And we don't even know what that means. But Krishna said, it's sarva dharma parityajya. But everyone's very attached to all these dharmas, all the different things we're supposed to do, to live in the material world, all the different yagyas and so many things. But he's saying, give it all up and just surrender to me. And it's not so easy. But they broke it open and plundered the warehouse, and the more they tasted it, the more they wanted it. They danced again and again and made it easier to drink love of Godhead. They danced, cried, laughed, and chanted like madmen, and in this way they distributed love of Godhead. In distributing love of Godhead, Chaitanya and his associates did not consider who was a fit candidate and who was not, nor where such distribution should take place or not. They made no conditions. Whatever they got the opportunity, they distributed love of Godhead. Now, Srila Prabhupada, we just had his disappearance day. He perfectly followed the Panchatattva. He was criticized for not discriminating. You know, he was preaching to mlechas and yavanas, not just to brahmanas. The brahmanas criticized Lord Chaitanya because he preached to everybody. He had everybody chanting the holy name, and they thought, because they didn't know anything about Krishna, they're just proud of their birth, they thought if these low-class people chant, the holy name will become contaminated. But the holy name is Krishna, and Krishna not only cannot become contaminated, but any contaminated thing that comes in contact with Krishna gets purified, just like the sun. You know, in the stool fields, the stool dries up, and then it's not smelling anymore, and it's not obnoxious. The sun purifies it. So Krishna, the holy name is Krishna, and anyone who chants the holy name becomes purified. Therefore, I can sit here and talk about Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, born in a family of... you can't imagine what it was like when I was born in America, right after the war. America's sitting on top of the world. The beef industry was just taking off, and the propaganda was, you have to eat meat or you'll die. You know, the government said every meal has to have at least meat, fish, and eggs, preferably two of those things, and every 3 meals a day. You know, so breakfast was eggs and meat, and lunch was meat, and night, and especially beef. And you know, my father's parents were immigrants, so they were poor when he was young. My kids are not going to be like me; they're going to get unlimited. But somehow or other, the holy name just, you know, for whatever reason, everything changed. So now people are understanding that, you know, we could, by the power of the holy name and the mercy of the Panchatattva. So they ate and distributed this love of Godhead, but it just kept increasing. That's the nature of the preaching. The more we give Krishna, the more we get Krishna. You want to get Krishna, you give Krishna. Even karma, you know, like the Birlas, they know you give charity, you get more money. You know, your business will do good. You build a temple, you give a lot of charity, you do pious activities, the Hindujas build a hospital, you're going to get more money. It's not like they're just completely charitable, but it's pious. It's good. It increases. So the flood of love of Godhead swelled in all directions. Young men, old men, children, women were all immersed, like we see here, the children running around. I didn't see any of them chanting, though. Right? Saw the mothers were chanting, but none of the children. But they're enjoying, and they're hearing the chanting. So they're very fortunate children. This Krishna conscious movement will inundate the world and drown everyone, whether one is a gentleman, a rogue, or even lame, invalid, or blind. And when the Panchatattvas saw this world drowning, they were very, very happy. The more they cause the rains of love to fall, the more the inundation increases and spreads all over the world. So we're seeing that. There were others who were very expert at avoiding, especially the students and the Mayavadis, but Lord Chaitanya found ways even to get through to them. That's one reason he took sannyas, because people in those days, they would automatically respect a sannyasi. And because he was Krishna, they would get benefit. So I hope it's not too much for you, but this is what we're here for. We're in the United States of America, the melting pot, it used to be called. You're all here because of at least the previous liberal immigration laws, right? Come, everybody come, you know. So first it was, like my mother told me from her side, they came on the Mayflower, her ancestors. That's like one of the first shipments of, I guess, British. It came from the British Islands. And I could be a son of the American Revolution. That's a club, you know, that somehow they fought in the American Revolution. I didn't want to do it, though. I didn't feel much. My grandmother was in the Daughters of the American Revolution. Then came, first was from the British Islands and Irish, and then from Sweden and Norway, that part, and then slaves. So we have a lot of Afro-Americans. Many of them are the longest, you know, they have, their ancestry goes back to being Americans much longer than most Americans. Because they brought them over very early. Anyway, it goes on. New York. So New York City has got everybody. And now we have Indians. Indians, when Prabhupada's time, there were very few Indians in America. Second Avenue, if you go there, now there's Indian restaurants all along, Indian shops, Indian everything. But there was none of that, no Indians. Now there's, you know, Iskcon temples and Balaji temples and just so many temples, Hindu temples all over. But we're not meant just for the Indians. It's meant for everybody. We do have an international society. It's a real challenge to work together with everybody. In many countries, you got the language challenge, you got cultural challenges, you got all kinds of, you know, conditioning. But somehow or other, when there's kirtan, everybody's happy. Everybody, doesn't matter. We can go to Mayapur, and there's, you know, in the Gurukul, in the school in Mayapur, they have about 70 some countries, children there. So I don't know what the timing's supposed to be. Now it's 7:30, right? Is that right? Huh?
Yes, 7:30 general, but you can speak.
Is what?
7:30 Maharaj.
Is it finish?
Yes, but you can speak more.
Blah, 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 blah. Any questions or comments? Anybody want to purchase the Chaitanya Charitamrita set? Please? Somebody? Huh? Huh? You have them here.
Anybody want to take? That's what. Okay, Samir.
Who's in charge? Stand up. Yeah. Okay. So tell me the score so I can, you know, think about it. Where will you be?
Sorry?
Where will you be for the...
I'm based in New Jersey.
No, but when you're selling the books here. Right out.
I'm ready. We are writing.
Huh? So in the shop. So who wants them, you please go to the shop.
Who is?
They'll bring them out to the lobby or bring them in. It's very auspicious.
Anybody else want to take?
Yeah. This, you know, we've heard the story how Prabhupada miraculously got this book published. At that first printing was 17 volumes. The BBT, not too long before, was struggling to produce one volume in 4 months. And then they worked and reorganized everything. And they were bragging to Prabhupada, now we can do one volume in 2 months. And then on the morning walk, Prabhupada said, I want all 17 volumes in 2 months. And they all thought it was impossible. And Prabhupada said, you're stupid fools if you believe it's impossible. The Guru tells you to do it. And they did it. So it's a miracle. This is one. How much is it?
108.
That's all? Wow, so cheap. No, it's really cheap. No, like this book, if you go in a bookstore, you'll never find a book like this, the quality like this. What to speak of a bunch of pictures in it, right? You can look at the paper, everything. You'll never find such nice books. But $25, you look in the airport, they have sometimes hardcover. $25 for one book. And they're not nice. But devotees always think our books are expensive, you know. In Indonesia, the devotees complaining, oh, the BBT is cheating, the books are so expensive. And the Bhagavad Gita, which is like this, you know, with a lot of pictures, by their money it was 60,000 or 75,000. It's like $7 or something. And I was in the bookstore, I saw the Harry Potter book, which had about half as many pages, no pictures, newsprint. You know, it was 280,000. But they're thinking, oh, the books are too expensive because they don't look, they don't know what's going on in the world. So it's a very bargain. So who wants it? Oh, very good. Yeah, I can hand it over if I can lift it. It's only 10 kilos. Huh? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Follow the Acharya there. Be sure to read it, all right?
Yeah, I will definitely.
You can start with chapter 7 of the Adi Leela. That's what I was reading from. The history is that the first Chaitanya Charitamrita that was published was only that chapter, a little paperback. And then when they printed the first volume, big one that had like 6 chapters, it started with, it was chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or something. It's a huge book that time. 8 by 10, or 10 by 12, maybe, 10 by 12, yeah. You know, like a big book, very heavy, with many pictures. But that chapter is like the whole essence, and the whole essence of the whole mood of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So thank you very much. I don't know what's next. Everybody offered their lamps already, right?
No, not yet.
Huh?
8:30 Maharaj.
Really? The Damodar?
Part of the, yes, Shrine. Now,
Right.
announcement, then prasadam, then they come back.
Oh.
That's all.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah, well, that's good to have prasadam a little early. So thank you. You know, it looks like more cars in the parking lot than there are people in the temple room. Isn't it?
They went for prasadam.
No, we were looking at how many cars, and I came in, and you know, I know that usually at least 3 people in every car, right? Right? Most of these families, 3 or 4 people in every car. Where are they? Mysterious. Of course, cars are big, and we didn't count. You know, if you. It's the opulences of America. We have to have a car. In New York City, cars are rare. But out here, you have to have a car. So thank you very much, and very nice to see it. The decorations with the Das avatars, very beautiful, very nice. So meditate on those avatars. They're all Krishna, just in different disguises, like Halloween. You know, Krishna can just put on a different, but it's just Krishna, and he just appears differently. In the Nalakuvar and Manigriva prayed, you appear like a lion and a fish and a tortoise, but your activities are not like any ordinary lion or fish or tortoise. It's always Krishna, always inconceivable. So we have to move on because it's quite far to get back to New York. Does anybody have experience about the traffic? When we were coming, the traffic going into New York was really heavy, you know, completely jammed up. But hopefully now it won't be quite so bad. All right? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Please, everybody, you have Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure everybody has. Read, you know, keep an open book, get a bunch of them and keep open books all around the house. or put slokas on the wall or something, so that, or now we have all the audio books also, so you can listen to it in the car and everything. Take advantage of Prabhupada's intense effort he made to get all these books published and translated. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. What's the name of Radha Krishna here?
Radha Samsundar.
Shamsundar.
Yes.
Very beautiful dress.
Hare Krishna, quick announcement before you leave for Mahaprasadam. Today's Sunday feast, let's thank Maharaj first, His Holiness Kavichandra Maharaj for the enlightening us on Gopastami and Srinivas Acharya's disappearance day, which is actual day is tomorrow. Loud Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Today's Sunday feast is sponsored by Srinivas Prabhu and Rajeshri Mataji for well-being of Manmohan Prabhu and in his endeavors. So let's bless Manmohan Prabhu. Loud Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Krishna Yarmadirastu. Next, Hansa Mataji and Nidhi Mataji are sponsoring today's Sunday feast on Gopastami. Are they here? Hansa Mataji and Nidhi. Please come forward. Sponsor. Mataji, please take from Maharaj. Maharaj, that's for them.
Okay.
And you? Yes. Yes. Maharaj. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Upcoming events, tomorrow is actual day of Gopastami and Srinivas Acharya disappearance day. Then November 7th, Thursday is Ekadasi. Also Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, the spiritual master of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada. Disappearance day, there is a fasting till noon. There is a complete fast, it's Ekadasi, so complete fast till 12 noon. And then your regular, Ekadasi prasadam you can take. And then the Parna time on November 8th, Friday, is 8:35 a.m. to 10 a.m. So November 8th onwards, the Bhishma Panchak. This is the last week of Kartik. So Bhishma Panchak start from November 8th, ends on November 12th. The last day of Kartik is Sri Krishna Rasa Yatra. That is the last day of Kartik. Bhishma Panchak ends. So please, if anybody would like to have a Kartik program, Kirtan program at their home, this is the last week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or weekdays, please contact one of us. So take this opportunity. And also there is a lot of cooking happened, especially today, big orders from Govindas. So let's thank all those volunteers who helped in making this event happen with Lakshmi points of $4,960. So, Victor, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So, please honor Krishna Prasadam on the other side and come back for Shayan Arti Kirtan. And today's, you can see the dressing, Vanabhoj, darshan of the Lord Jagannath and Srimati Radharani as a Gopastami dress. So, Lord is going on the picnic. That's why you see the pot and the stick and everything. So, thank you, Hare Krishna. Come back for 8:35 Shayan Arti Kirtan Damodar Ashtakam, offering ghee lamps to the Lord Damodar.